there's something truly remarkable happening right now. And if you're watching this video, there's a good chance it's happening to you. Picture this. You're at a family gathering, and someone half your age complains about being tired after a simple day at work while you've just finished tending to your garden. Called 3 friends to check on them, and you're already planning tomorrow's activities with the same energy you had decades ago. You pause for a moment and think, am I really supposed to feel older than this? The truth is, if you're between 65 and 80 and still maintaining certain behaviors and attitudes, you're not just aging well, you're part of an exceptionally rare group of individuals who are redefining what it means to grow older in world. What makes this even more fascinating is that most people your age have unconsciously accepted limitations that you refuse to embrace. They've settled into patterns that feel safe but limiting, while you continue to surprise not just others, but perhaps even yourself. You know that feeling when someone assumes you can't do something because of your age, and you prove them wrong. That's not just stubbornness, that's wisdom in action. Today, we're going to explore 8 remarkable signs that indicate you're not just aging. You're thriving in ways that set you apart from the majority of your peers. These aren't just feel-good observations. They're backed by research and represent qualities that researchers have found in less than 20% of people in your age group. Before we dive deeper into these extraordinary characteristics, I want to ask you something personal. If what we're discussing today resonates with you, if you recognize yourself in these descriptions, would you take just a moment to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like? Your engagement helps us reach more people who, like you, are living proof that age is just a number. And together, we can create a community that celebrates the wisdom and vitality that comes with living fully at every stage of life. The first sign that you're truly exceptional in how you're aging is something that might seem simple on the surface, but it's actually profound in its implications. You still maintain genuine curiosity about the world around you. While many of your peers have settled into predictable routines and stopped asking questions, you find yourself wondering about things. Maybe it's how that new technology works, why the birds in your neighborhood have changed their migration patterns, or what's really behind the latest news stories you're hearing. This isn't just casual interest. It's an active engagement with life that keeps your mind sharp and your spirit young. This curiosity manifests in beautiful ways. You might find yourself striking up conversations with strangers at the grocery store, not just about the weather, but about their lives, their experiences, their perspectives. You ask your grandchildren not just how school is going, but what they're learning that excites them most. When they start talking about subjects you've never heard of, instead of dismissing them or feeling left behind, you ask them to explain more. You watch documentaries not because you have nothing else to do, but because you genuinely want to understand more about subjects you've never explored. This intellectual hunger is what separates you from those who have mentally retired from learning, and it's keeping your neural pathways active and growing in ways that most people your age have allowed to slow down. There's something almost childlike about this curiosity, but it's childlike in the best possible way. It's the wonder and openness that we all had once, before life taught us to be cautious about appearing foolish or asking too many questions. You've either maintained that quality or rediscovered it, and that's extraordinary. The second remarkable quality that sets you apart is your willingness to adapt to change rather than resist it. We live in a world that's transforming rapidly, and while many people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s feel overwhelmed or frustrated by constant change, you've maintained a flexibility that's truly rare. You might not love every new development, but you approach change with a problem-solving mindset rather than a defensive one. Perhaps you've learned to use a smartphone not just for calls, but for staying connected with family through video chats. Or maybe you've discovered online shopping and found it convenient rather than threatening. You might have adapted your driving habits as your vision or reflexes have changed, finding new routes or new times to travel that work better for you now. The key difference is that you see these adaptations not as defeats or signs of decline, but as intelligent responses to changing circumstances. You understand that wisdom includes knowing when and how to adjust your approach while maintaining your core values and sense of self. This adaptability extends beyond technology and practical matters. You've likely adapted socially as well, perhaps, finding new friends as old ones have moved away or passed on, or discovering new activities that suit your current interests and physical capabilities better than ones you enjoyed in the past. Where others might feel lost or resentful about these changes, you've embraced them as opportunities for growth and new experiences. You understand that change, while sometimes uncomfortable, often brings unexpected gifts, new perspectives, deeper appreciation for what truly matters, and the satisfaction that comes from proving to yourself that you can handle whatever life presents. The third sign of your exceptional aging is something that might surprise people who think they know what getting older looks like. You maintain physical activities that challenge you appropriately for your current abilities, and you do this consistently. This doesn't mean you're running marathons, though some of you might be, but it means you've found ways to keep your body engaged and active that work for who you are right now. Maybe it's a daily walk that you've adjusted over the years to match your energy levels and joint comfort, but you still take it religiously. Perhaps it's swimming at the local community center, gardening that requires you to bend and stretch and lift, or dancing that brings you joy while keeping you moving. Some of you might have discovered yoga or Tai Chi later in life and found these practices perfect for maintaining flexibility and balance. The crucial element here is that you haven't given up on physical activity. You've evolved your relationship with it. What makes this truly exceptional is that you understand the connection between physical activity and mental well-being in a way that many of your peers have forgotten or never fully grasped. You know that when you move your body, you feel better emotionally and mentally. You've experienced firsthand how a good walk can clear your head, how stretching can release tension, how physical accomplishment, even something as simple as completing your exercise routine, gives you a sense of achievement and control that carries over into other areas of your life. You've learned to listen to your body without being controlled by its limitations, finding that sweet spot between pushing yourself appropriately and respecting your current capabilities. The fourth remarkable characteristic that sets you apart is your commitment to maintaining and nurturing relationships, both old and new. While some people your age have allowed their social circles to shrink dramatically, either through loss, geography, or simple neglect, you've made the conscious effort to stay connected and even expand your network of meaningful relationships. You understand that relationships require investment at every age, and you're willing to make that investment. You might be the one who initiates phone calls to old friends, who remembers birthdays and anniversaries, who makes an effort to stay in touch with family members even when it requires learning new ways to communicate. You recognize that loneliness and isolation are choices, not inevitable consequences of aging, and you've chosen differently. But it's not just about maintaining old relationships. You're also open to forming new ones. Maybe you've joined a book club, volunteered for a cause you care about, or simply been friendly enough with neighbors or fellow community members, that genuine friendships have developed. You understand that every person you meet has stories to tell and wisdom to share, regardless of their age, and you remain open to these connections. This social engagement keeps you mentally stimulated, emotionally fulfilled, and gives you a sense of purpose and belonging that many people your age have lost. You've discovered that friendship at this stage of life can be particularly rich, because you both have the time to invest in relationships and the wisdom to appreciate their true value. Roughly halfway through our journey together today, I want to pause and acknowledge something important. If you're recognizing yourself in these descriptions, if you're nodding along and thinking about your own experiences, you're demonstrating exactly the kind of self-awareness and openness that makes you exceptional. Would you help us spread this message of positive aging by giving this video a like and subscribing to our channel? When you do, you're not just supporting our content, you're joining a community of people who believe that getting older can be about getting better, wiser, and more engaged with life, not less. The fifth sign that you're aging exceptionally well is your maintained sense of purpose and contribution. While many people your age have settled into a mindset of "I've done my part" or "it's time for others to take over," you still feel called to make a difference in the world around you. This doesn't necessarily mean grand gestures or major commitments, though it might, but it means you still see yourself as someone who has value to contribute and responsibilities to fulfill. This might manifest as volunteering for organizations that matter to you, sharing your skills and knowledge with younger people who can benefit from your experience, or simply being the person in your family or community who others can count on for support, advice, or practical help. You might mentor someone in your former profession, help at your local library or food bank, or serve on the board of a community organization. The specific activity matters less than the underlying attitude. You still see yourself as an active participant in life rather than a passive observer. This sense of purpose gives your days structure and meaning in ways that purely recreational activities cannot. While there's certainly a place for leisure and relaxation in a well-lived life, you understand that humans need to feel useful and needed to maintain their psychological health and sense of identity. You've found ways to remain useful that align with your current capabilities and interests, and this keeps you engaged with the world in meaningful ways. What's particularly beautiful about this is that your contributions often have a different quality now than they did when you were younger. They're more thoughtful, more patient, more focused on what truly matters, rather than what simply needs to get done quickly. The sixth remarkable quality that distinguishes you is your emotional resilience and your ability to find joy in simple, everyday experiences. Life has undoubtedly presented you with challenges, losses, disappointments, and changes that you wouldn't have chosen. Yet, instead of becoming bitter, withdrawn, or perpetually focused on what you've lost, you've developed an ability to find pleasure and meaning in the life you have right now. This might mean you've learned to appreciate a beautiful sunset in a way you never did when you were younger and busier. Perhaps you find deep satisfaction in a well-prepared meal, a good conversation with a friend, or the simple pleasure of reading a book without interruption. You might have discovered that small accomplishments, organizing a closet, completing a crossword puzzle, or successfully helping someone solve a problem can provide genuine satisfaction. This isn't about lowering your standards or settling for less. It's about recognizing that joy and fulfillment come in many forms, and that wisdom includes learning to appreciate life's quieter pleasures alongside its more dramatic moments. You've developed what psychologists call emotional regulation, the ability to manage your emotional responses in ways that serve your well-being rather than undermine it. You've learned that happiness isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create through your choices, your perspective, and your daily practices of gratitude and mindfulness. The seventh sign of your exceptional aging is perhaps one of the most important and least recognized. You've maintained your intellectual engagement with complex ideas and challenging material. While many people your age have simplified their intellectual diet to easily digestible entertainment or familiar, unchallenging content, you continue to read, think about, and discuss substantive topics that require mental effort and engagement. Maybe you're still reading books that challenge your thinking, following current events with a critical eye, or engaging in discussions about politics, philosophy, science, or social issues that require you to consider multiple perspectives and form thoughtful opinions. You might be taking classes formally or informally, learning new skills, or pursuing interests that require sustained concentration and learning. This intellectual engagement serves multiple purposes in your life. It keeps your cognitive abilities sharp through regular exercise, just as physical activity keeps your body functioning well. It also keeps you connected to the broader world of ideas and current events, preventing the isolation that can come when people retreat into increasingly narrow circles of familiar thoughts and comfortable opinions. Perhaps most importantly, it maintains your sense of growth and development. You're still becoming, still learning, still evolving as a person, rather than simply maintaining or declining. You understand that learning doesn't stop when formal education ends, and that some of life's most valuable lessons come through personal exploration and discovery rather than structured instruction. The eighth and final sign that you're aging exceptionally, and perhaps the most telling of all, is your forward-looking perspective. While it would be natural and understandable for someone in their 60s, 70s, or 80s to spend most of their mental energy looking backward, reminiscing about the past, or simply trying to maintain the status quo, you still make plans for the future and look forward to experiences yet to come. This doesn't mean you're unrealistic about mortality or the changes that come with aging. Rather, it means you approach the time you have left, whether that's 5 years or 25 years, as time to be lived fully rather than simply endured. You might be planning trips you want to take, projects you want to complete, relationships you want to deepen, or skills you want to develop. You still have items on your bucket list, and more importantly, you believe these goals are achievable and worth pursuing. This forward-looking attitude affects how you spend your time and energy in the present. Instead of dwelling on regrets or losses, you focus on possibilities and opportunities. Instead of assuming that your best years are behind, you approach each day as a chance to create positive experiences and meaningful moments. This perspective is incredibly rare among people your age, and it's perhaps the most powerful predictor of continued vitality and life satisfaction. What makes this perspective even more remarkable is that it's often accompanied by a kind of peaceful urgency, an understanding that time is precious, combined with a calm confidence in your ability to use it well. You're not frantic or desperate. You're purposeful and intentional. You know what matters to you, and you're willing to invest your remaining time and energy in those things, rather than squandering them on activities or relationships that don't serve your highest values and deepest purposes. As we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. If you've recognized yourself in several or all of these 8 characteristics, You truly are exceptional in how you're navigating this stage of life. You're not just aging well, you're demonstrating that it's possible to grow older while continuing to grow as a human being. But here's what I want you to understand most deeply. These qualities aren't accidents of good genetics or lucky circumstances. They're choices you've made, consciously or unconsciously, about how to approach each day of your life. Every time you choose curiosity over complacency, adaptation over resistance, activity over passivity, connection over isolation, purpose over aimlessness, joy over bitterness, growth over stagnation, and hope over resignation, you're choosing to age exceptionally. Your example matters more than you might realize. In a culture that often views aging with fear and negativity, you're living proof that growing older can be about growing better. You're showing younger generations what's possible, and you're inspiring peers who might have settled for less too. Reconsider their own approach to aging. If this message has resonated with you today, if you found yourself nodding along and recognizing your own exceptional journey, I want to invite you to be part of something larger. Please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like, not just to support our work, but to help us build a community of people who are redefining what it means to age in America. Your engagement helps this message reach others who need to hear it, who need to know that they're not alone in their commitment to living fully at every age. Share this video with friends and family members who are also aging exceptionally, or who could benefit from seeing a different vision of what getting older can look like. Leave a comment telling us which of these 8 signs resonated most strongly with you, or share your own insights about what it means to age well. Your wisdom and experience are valuable, and by sharing them, you contribute to a larger conversation about the possibilities that exist at every stage of life. Remember, every day you wake up, you have the opportunity to choose how you'll approach that day. You can choose to be curious, adaptable, active, connected, purposeful, joyful, intellectually engaged, and forward-looking. These aren't just characteristics of exceptional aging. They're choices available to you right now, today, regardless of what challenges or limitations you might be facing. Thank you for spending this time with us today, and for being living examples of what it means to age, not just gracefully, but exceptionally. Your journey continues, and the best may truly be yet to come.